the Brigade BM-9. Let's check it out. Brigade Firearms is based out of Miami, Florida. They are a manufacturer of AR-15s, and it's one of the things that I really like when a company makes their own products. There's a lot of companies out there that buy products and just put rifles together or pistols. Today we're going to be taking a look at the BM-9. This is a AR-15 style 9mm pistol. They do make rifles as well. But all the aluminum parts, the upper and lower receiver, the handguard, these are all made right there at Brigade Firearms. The upper and lower receiver fit very well. They come in a number of different colors, and yes, it does take Glock mags. And I want to thank Classic Firearms for sending the Brigade BM-9 for this review. Now guys, there's a lot of choices out on the market for 9mm AR-15s, and it's a very popular platform. People really getting into that 9mm pistol caliber carbine style pistol and again rifle. Taking the Glock mags, really easy thing for me. I think it's really a smart move. While there are some other rifles out there and pistols that have different type mags, Glock mags are very plentiful. But why would you choose a 9mm AR-15 over a 223, 300 Blackout, or whatever? One of the big reasons is the cost of the ammo. I mean, it's just less. You know, you've got 9mm that runs quite a bit less than your 5.56, and typically you can go with a shorter barrel with 9mm because it is a blowback design. Of course, first thing we want to do is make sure the gun is unloaded and it's empty. Now, it does come with one Glock factory mag, 33 rounder, and they work very well. On here, I have one of the Primary Arms ACSS Cyclopses. This is one of my favorite red dot sights. It is a no magnification, but what I love about it is not only is it illuminated, and of course the ACSS is one of my favorites, it does have a focus ring at the back. So if you have any kind of problems with eyesight, this is a great option. But it also matches the color very well of the Cerakote on this FDE. This is the Magpul FDE color, and it does come in a graphite black, and it also comes in tungsten gray. Now, the upper and lower receiver are 70-75 T6 aluminum, which is up to military spec. They mate very well together, and of course these are made again in the same factory right there at Brigade, and so these are going to have really tight tolerances, and it is a snug fit. Now, it has a 5.5-inch barrel, and it has a 5-inch handguard, and there is a fake suppressor on here that is really cool. I mean, it just looks great. The threads are at the front, so this slides down over your barrel. It doesn't extend the length of your barrel, and it only sticks out about a 1/2 inch. And the threads are 1/2 by 36 for 9mm. But one thing you'll notice are these rails. Now, a lot of people will look at this and say this is a key mod rail, but it's not. This is a proprietary system that's called the U-rail. It fits both your key mod and your M-lock, and it's something I've never seen before. But you take it, put it in, and then here you have M-lock, and then with key mod, it fits as well. So you've got a lot of capability, and if you're like me, I have both type rails, I have both type attachments, and that's one of the most frustrating things is when you don't have the right attachment for the rail you're using. And so this is the best of both worlds. And again, this is exclusively with Brigade. We also have a QD point right here on the rail and one on the other side. Of course, your Picatinny rail runs all along the upper receiver, and it mates really well with this handguard. And one thing too, it does have a bolt hold open feature. Now, one thing that I found with some of my older Glock mags is it doesn't always hold the bolt open, but with the newer mags it does. This happens to be one of the SGM 33 round magazines. Then you can take your other standard Glock mags and it just makes it more compact, and it'll even take your Glock 26 mag. Now you have your standard controls for your AR, which makes it nice for the AR guys. And your mag release is right here. It's a large paddle. It does have your dust cover, your forward assist, which honestly this is just for show. There's no cuts in the bolt. We have a standard AR-15 charging handle, mil-spec buffer tube, castle nut, and end plate. Also, your selector switch is AR, your trigger is a mil-spec AR, and of course bolt release. Everything on here, you know, is typically a mil-spec part, but it does have a polymer expanded trigger guard, which I really like. And it does have the A2 AR-15 grip, but of course these can be changed out if you want. Now, being a pistol, it has a brace, and this is one of the CAC M2 braces, and that means there's a little lever here, and it's actually adjustable, which makes it really nice. Some of the original CACs had a screw here, and you could unscrew it and move it, but this is fully adjustable while you're using it. But again, this is a mil-spec buffer tube, so you can put other type braces on here if you choose to. When it comes to your trigger, this is a mil-spec trigger. And you know, it's not bad, it's close enough. And of course, with a short little firearm like this, you don't really need super accuracy, but this can be changed out to put whatever trigger pack you want to that'll fit the AR-15. Now, Classic Firearms has a package they're putting together with a sling, and this is a UTG sling, polymer backup sights, you have a QD swivel, and then of course, again, the 30 round Glock factory magazine and two 17 round SMG magazines. But I'm not sure if this is a limited deal, but it's included in the package. I think it's around 50 bucks, and the price on the BM-9 is $599.99, and the retail price is $849.99. Now, as far as disassembly, same thing, just pull out your takedown pin. We're going to go ahead and pull out our bolt and bolt carrier. Now, this is a blowback design, so it has a bolt that is configured with 9mm blowback. The bolt is 4140 chrome moly, heat treated properly. You have a black nitride finish on the bolt, which is going to give you long life, and it's just really slick in the action. And of course, you don't have your standard gas key, but you have one that's blocked off. And then of course the bolt is recessed, and you can see how it's opened, but just standard 9mm. But these things just really work great. And this is a weighted bolt, as you can see, for the blowback. Now, one of the things that really surprised me about the BM-9 is the recoil. It's a blowback action, which typically the recoil is as much as 5.56. But with this combination of bolt carrier group and the buffer, this is a very soft shooting 9mm. This buffer is marked B. It weighs 5.8 ounces, so it's fairly heavy. And then we have an insert right here that weights the bolt carrier down. And this is a really heavy bolt. So between this combination, it gives you a lot of recoil reduction, and yet you still have great reliability. Now we're going to go ahead and take out our firing pin retainer pin, drop our firing pin. You'll notice that it's of course a little different, being 9mm, and it does have a spring here as well. It does have kind of a really unique bonding, looks like titanium nitride bonding on it. There's a roll pin here you can drive through to pull out your bolt, but we're not going to do that. But you can see different kind of action. Again, we have a mil-spec trigger, and of course any standard mil-spec trigger. You have your ejector here, which these are typical for your 9mm, and then you see your bolt hold open feature here. And here we have our buffer tube and buffer tube spring, again in the mil-spec buffer tube. Big thanks to Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, and also just for making some great ammunition. We shoot a lot of this stuff, and it just works. All made right here in the USA. And Lula Loaders, my thumbs thank you. Guys, we spent 2 days out at the range. You know, it was an AR-15 9mm, so I just kind of knew how it would shoot, as long as it was reliable and accurate. But one of the things about the BM-9 that separates himself, because typically 9mm in blowback has some felt recoil, very similar to your 5.56, and it just has a lot to do with that bolt coming back. with the BM-9. And I don't know if it's the heavier buffer or the heavier bolt carrier group. It just felt very soft shooting. In fact, I've never felt a 9mm pistol in this configuration that has been any softer. I mean, in fact, Sarah Mack even mentioned a couple of times how easy this was to shoot. And it is. It stays right on track. The recoil, very little pushback. It just seems to be tuned in that right spot to where it still has really great reliability, and yet it just tames the recoil. And really, this front fake suppressor is not a muzzle brake. I mean, it probably adds a little bit of weight to the front end, but maybe that has a little bit to do with it. But guys, I'm telling you, I was really surprised at the recoil impulse on this firearm. It was very easy to shoot, very fast to pull the trigger. It stays on target. And so, I don't know, guys, at first, it was a mystery to me. And then when I took the gun apart and kind of looked at especially the bolt carrier group, the added weight there, I think that has a lot to do with it. But reliability was great, and as far as accuracy, even with this short barrel, it was great. And then on here I have those sights that Classic Firearms is putting on. One thing about these sights is they are fiber optic, so they're easy to see. And one thing that I did is just put one of the SP Tactical A3 pistol braces on here just to show you that the sky's the limit. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do to these. And I'll tell you, the range though, again, the way the recoil impulse was, and honestly, just the lack of felt recoil made this an exceptionally fun gun to take to the range. And guys, when it does come to your pistol brace, this is made to be able to shoot one-handed, putting it through the Velcro straps, reaching here, and then firing it. Of course, you can actually put it up to your cheek, but again, also you can put it onto your shoulder. And according to the ATF, it's occasionally, but you know, it's one of those things where it just gives you 3 different options. And that's great, because with this, just the buffer tube, you know, it's a little more difficult to shoot. And then, of course, like the AK pistols, without anything, it's really just a range toy. This really helps make things a lot more stable. And to be honest, the little blade brace is so minimal, it's really nice to have. The SP Tactical with the rubberized piece, a little more comfortable to shoot. So guys, if you're looking for a really high quality 9mm AR-15, Brigade Manufacturing is an excellent choice. And with all the features, and definitely with this proprietary rail that fits M-LOK and key mod. It's really a great company that's innovative and really puts out good quality. And again, I want to thank Classic Firearms for sending the Brigade BM-9 for this test and evaluation. Rubber Dummies is one of the best training tools on the market, and you get a 10% discount using Suit00 when you click the link down in the description. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Which makes it really nice. That's huge. Big old C-130. Magazines whatsoever.